So, today we want to talk about living moneyless.
Yeah.
The idea of the moneyless man.
Yeah. So there's the book. Oh, okay. So I was on YouTube and I was scrolling and I seen this video that said inspirational lady lives moneyless for 11 years. And I watched the video and then she said she got this idea from reading the book The Moneyless Man by Mark
Boyle.
Mark Boyle. Anyways, and I myself have been living moneyless for 7 years and living alternative lifestyles. And so, natürlich, I wanted to watch the video, and then I watched the video, and that's when we found out about the book. And then we decided we wanted to discuss it.
So what's the idea about to you?
Freedom.
In freedom in what sense?
Ultimate.
The ultimate freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the ultimate...
That is my life. That is my life's purpose. That is my life. How free can you be in an unfree world? Welcome to this prison planet. Breakout.
Okay.
Figure it out to break out.
Now, I want to get down to what exactly transmits this feeling.
And the irony is that people think money provides freedom. I mean, obviously it is true, but also with no money, I have transformed into the most ultimate. I feel I am the epitome of freedom.
Okay, the thing is, and just as you said,
which is my purpose in life. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, the moneyless man, just a title, kind of implies that you don't have money.
Yeah.
But it in the subtext is you also don't need money, right? That's what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah, like when you break it down to living moneyless. Yeah.
So the thing is not rejecting having money. The idea is rejecting needing money.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the baseline to me. Right? It's not about saying necessarily that having money is bad for you, but being dependent on it costs you freedom.
Of course, but also the video, and we looked at the synopsis of the book, but also the video was like, yeah, she didn't want to contribute to capitalism anymore. Okay,
I mean, capitalism is a big thing. There is good things about capitalism. There's a lot of bad things about capitalism.
There is no good things about capitalism. Capitalism is the thing that causes dentists to make you pay for your dental work when we know that dentistry has to do with actual health. And here in the beautiful place of Canada, we have free health care. And that should include what everyone knows is your teeth, because you can die from having bad teeth because of heart disease.
Yes.
It can cause heart disease. So why is it not covered? Capitalism.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a big discussion. I guess we don't have to get into the whole capitalism thing. It is definitely an adjacent topic.
Yeah, but that's where I think I have a money block as well, is because I have such a deep-seated belief that I don't need it. And I resent, and so that's what I mean, is why I think I have a money block of trying to bring it in at this point. Because I resent the fact that for something like that, basic health, I need money.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. And
money, it wasn't developed to be that way. Money isn't something that's like designed to make it so if you don't have it, you can't have health. That's not what its purpose was or is.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. In our society where we are very rich, we are a very rich human society, and we have the means to make people healthy. And to keep people healthy. And we kind of do to a point. So the thing is, this experiment of the moneyless man, of course, is and the lady you're talking about is about the experiment of integrating that into modern life, right? How do we do it today? It's not how it's. We don't want to draw a dream world where it would be easy or how it should be. We're not gonna try to draw the perfect communist society where everything is just working and everything's golden and everybody's happy. We want to try to integrate it into today's society, how we live it. So, not having money, not bringing in money, not trying to bring in money, and trying to live off of growing food and foraging and community support. That to me still comes with the necessity of having some money, right?
Yeah, somebody in that equation has money.
Somebody.
That was the point of the book and of her thing. And of my thing. That is it. Somebody in the equation has money.
Somebody has money, and you also, I mean, not just you could also say, okay, the community has money and you spend it on things, but personally, for example, you need to go to the dentist, right?
Yeah.
Or you want a certain kitchen appliance because doing everything by hand is crazy. Crazy effort. Even if it's just a little machine that costs like I don't know, like a little mixer or something $20, right? It's not a lot, everybody can afford it, but if you actually don't have any money, you can't. So to me, that's one of the limits, right? There is points where you need money, even if it's not a lot, you need a little bit of it. Even if you manage to, like, let's say you have a property and you build yourself a little house on there, or I don't know, a little clay hut, whatever. You manage to live there without racking up any costs, living off of the land, foraging and growing your food. Then at some point you will still probably need money.
Maybe. The whole thing was, like we already said that, right? That somebody, in this experiment, somebody has money. But I think that's besides the point. I think, for me, it's experimental. Again, going back to my purpose in life is to be an example. Be an example of, you don't have to do what they say. Of this fucking one path that you have to take, and that's the only safe path. It's an example, also, I said this earlier, of going back to like village living, where everybody is supported because everybody does their thing and it supports that way of life. And so, like, in the video where they spoke to the woman that she lives with, the one that makes the money and owns the house. And then, she said, I can't live the life that I want to live without her. She makes it possible for me to live the life that I want to live because she's taken care of food and the house and whatever else, she said, and it frees up time for her to do her theater work.
Yeah.
That's where I got the idea of it. It's like, okay, that's the gist, right? Going back to like village living is like, everybody takes care of each other, and it just works. That's also the thing. It's like, community is like, that's how community works. Is everybody has a role and they do it, and then it just works as a symbiotic system.
Exactly. So this is also one of the main points that I find interesting about this idea, that it's mentioned that you kind of have to fall back on a community, right? Doing it all by yourself is probably impossible, or at least crazy.
Yeah.
and this puts the community higher up in the priorities, and that you live in reciprocity.
Which is what I mean. I think the point is like going back to village style living community. I think this is like a beacon for people to be like, okay, this is how we shift back into village living. That's fucking what this whole generation, multiple of generations, has been longing for, and why there's so much depression and loneliness, because there is no community and there's nuclear families, and
yeah,
that's it.
So I guess, I mean, the community part about it is that, to me,
it's like how much more work and more freedom. That's the whole point. Why there's the saying of like, it takes a village to raise the children. Imagine how much more freedom and time for yourself and other things you would have if we did live in a village mentality where the people who like children take care of the fucking children during the day. And then guess what? We could also get rid of this fucking public school shit that's fucking killing them.
Yeah, so this whole community thought, that's human, right? In our modern society, that's one thing I despise about it, is that everybody just has a job, has some kind of apartment or house, and then you live next to each other, and everybody's kind of lonely in their own house.
Yeah.
Being lonely right next to so many other humans that feel the same,
Well,
that's just insane. That's insane that we humans slid into this structure of everybody going home and sitting in front of the TV and kind of, being alone, right? Which is why when we see it here in the community that people get together, do work parties, have potlucks.
Make this whole community and neighborhood better.
Yeah.
By coming together and deciding what we want for the neighborhood, and then the city gets on board.
Yeah. And this is not about, they don't have to be your best friends, right? You don't have to hang out with them every night.
Yeah.
You can have your personal freedom and do whatever you want, but getting together as a community is still enriching, and it's just food for the soul.
Well, and that's what I thought about right before you started talking about how crazy that is. But yeah, like loneliness, there's like a saying where it's like loneliness isn't lack of having people around, it's lack of true connection, authentic connection.
Yeah.
You can be lonely in a room full of people.
So this is the one big side effect to me about the Moneyless Man, that because it is more of a hard situation, like it's a little more complicated, trying this, and you then look left and right, you try to make it possible, you try to survive, you talk to people, you try to make arrangements and so that everybody gains something from the relationship, and then this whole interaction, this is a very human core, figuring things out with your community, figuring things out with other people. So this is the one big side effect that I see in this is the most positive one, right? There is, of course, also other aspects like being more ethical with your surroundings and having this environmental motivation that lets you be more in touch with nature. That whole thing, of course, is great. But to me, the biggest point and the biggest side effect of this is the community involvement, because that's what you kind of have to get back to, in this scenario at least.
Yeah. Well, that's what I just thought of Michael, right? It's like, imagine how much more we could do if like anybody who has a drive like Michael does had more time to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, because that's what Jessa and Mark always talk about. you know, the podcast that I love and listen to, and the lady who woke me up, Jessa Reed. Yeah, she talks about when there's going to be the collapse of government, when we all decide we don't need fucking Big Daddy government anymore, because they weren't ever doing anything for us in the first place. Then that's what it'll be. It'll be fucking small groups of local people who decide if there's a fucking pothole on my street, I'm gonna fucking fill it. And if you live in an area where there's less people that give a fuck about the potholes, then well, like she said, like in the example of that, it's like, okay, so that works small scale and I can drive throughout my neighborhood without any potholes because me and my neighbors take care of it. But if you want to drive across the city, well, then you might stumble into patches where people don't give a fuck, and so the roads have gone to shit. So it would just, coming back to it, it's just then on you. I mean, that is how the collapse works, is rendering it obsolete. So yeah, imagine what it would be like when people could fully step into their authentic desire because they're supported by the community.
Okay, so...
Like how much he's gotten done in this neighborhood while still having whatever it is his normal life is.
So I want to talk about another one or two aspects of the idea of the moneyless man, to circle back to the original thought. And how to... I mean, I want to try to think about ways how to integrate it into modern society, right? It's not approachable for most people to just say, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna quit my job and go moneyless and kind of raw dog it. Mm-hmm. Right? That's not approachable. That's not sustainable.
Well,
and
that's what it says in the book. It's like, and in the video I watched, it's like, evidently this is not for everyone.
Yeah.
No, I mean, nothing is.
Yeah, I mean, not only is this not for everyone, this is probably for only 1 in a million people right now.
Yes, because I'm 1 in a million.
So I wanna try to think about steps towards that, right? What is logical steps that work towards enriching community and...
But that's why I think this is the step, right? It's showing a step. It's showing how to get there. It's showing that this lady was able to bring in a community sort of thing that helped the lady that she lives with out. So, going back to what I was saying about Michael and everyone else, imagine what you can do when you had the time because you were supported by the community. That's how you do it. Show people an alternative and then they can start to fucking play it out. Figure it out.
Yeah, but that's kind of the radical approach.
What are we doing here? Why are we not going towards radical? Well, the fucking shit that's going on in this world, if that's not radical, I don't know what the fuck you're smoking, because it's time for us to go radical, because that fucking shit is so radical, we gotta step up the radicalism. That was the other thing. It was like, okay, what are they doing here? Are they trying to see how far they can push us until we snap? You don't want us to snap. You can't handle if we all snap. You can't. So, what are we trying to do really here with the craziness that's going on?
I mean, obviously, you already lived that lifestyle. I mean, you haven't lived that classic lifestyle of having a job, earning some money, paying your rent and your groceries with it, and then using whatever left over of that to pay taxes.
Not a long time. No.
Exactly. I just think, obviously, this is not mass. This doesn't work for the masses.
I know, but that's what I mean. If you just took it step by step and it's like, okay, now this person has more free time. What can we do to make it so this person has more free time? And then, sooner or later, you're living in a fucking small group community in which everybody's needs are covered, and boom, it's fine.
Yeah. So one big thing we're doing right now is growing food.
Yeah.
Right? Having the garden, preparing saplings, and having all kinds of veggies growing, from arugula over tomatoes to kale, right? All
Winter
kinds of,
and summer crops.
yeah, and all these things. It's more than we can consume,
Yeah.
right? There's still garlic from last year,
Yeah, and a lot of it.
and we provide it to people using the food stand.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's one big thing. Having food available locally, cheap or even free,
Mm-hmm.
and just providing for yourself and then some.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a big thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like another big step would be replacing where you usually would use money with something else. I mean, the old system where you trade one bread for 2 eggs, that doesn't scale. Let's put it that way. Skill exchanges.
Yeah, but maybe we're moving away from scale. Maybe we're moving towards small group. We know that doesn't work. We know mass fucking decide for the whole country doesn't work.
Yeah, but even in our community, like even in our small community, when I'm able to do things, right? I'm educated in a certain area, and other people know other stuff. I feel like, and of course we could just exchange money for the services, right? I could just ask him, hey, could you do this for me? I'm going to give you $60.
Mm-hmm.
And when he needs something from me, he gives me also some money back.
Mm-hmm.
We could, but that's not the goal of the moneyless living. Of course, is more tending towards, hey, can you help me with this? I can help you with other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or I just owe you something, you know. But if you don't have access to money, of course, if money would be completely out of the equation, then that's what you would do, right? You would figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because money's on the table, always, you can of course say, yeah, you just pay me for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is kind of one central point to me. What would bring a community together is exchanging skill and exchanging help.
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, that is how it works. Everybody has a role, they play it, and it works.
So I feel like that's one big thing. Having a community, I feel like that's a huge step. Finding a community or building a community is already a huge step. Not easy. Having that, and then having that kind of community culture where everybody understands that this is not about having an advertisement channel where you can sell your services.
Mm-hmm.
This is not about funneling or some corporate bullshit. This is about having people who want to enrich each other's lives and make it easier. Having this community then makes it way easier to slowly turn into this moneyless life. Because if you integrate that into your normal lifestyle, if that's what you want and if that's what you go for, having this community, then you can go towards no spending weekends, right? Instead of going out, you meet up with the community and host a potluck.
Yeah.
That's A, way cheaper. B, is great for your soul.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's really a great experience, and you haven't spent money. If you have a garden, you can do it with your own food, right? Providing for a couple people with the food you've grown.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought about too in the past. Is like, after Earth Day, having seen, okay, this community is legit. It's a real thing where there's enough people that actually give a shit that they're creating something cool.
Yeah, working together.
So then I thought, what if, even just in our small block, we all decided to move towards food security, and then, I don't know what else comes with that, but it's like, so say our small community, like Michael, Tyler across the way, Shelby, John, and the neighbor, the old lady neighbor, Betty, they have gardens too. Anyway, what if everybody turned their front lawn, or lawns, into what John has? Farm on the front, in the lawn. And then, just in our small community, with that much more space, we have all of those families' food covered.
Yeah. It could even...
And then, like I said, then see what goes and what we can do next with that. Like, okay, so now they've freed up more money for groceries. What do we do with that now? If we become this sort of work together community, what are we doing with that?
Exactly, and technically the money...
Now that the community has come together to provide food for each other, what next?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
saved money.
Exactly, it's freeing up money. But because most people are exchanging their time for money, you could also say, okay, I don't have to work as much. I can go down from 40 hours to 20 hours or something.
Or less need for money.
Also pay less taxes. And then you have more time to provide even more for the community.
Yeah.
So I feel like this would be one of these... This is a way that it can work for a community.
Yeah.
Right?
That actually was part of that video too. She said they panned over, not on the property anymore, to the community garden. She said, this is our little experiment. We call it the 100 square meter experiment, something like that. And same as what John's doing. What can we do and how much will it feed on just the average amount of lawn space?
Yeah.
And well, we know John produces way more than he could eat.
You could also...
And obviously it's only veggies. But
yeah.
We have chickens too. So there's a little bit of protein.
So, I mean, veggies also have protein, right? You just have to grow the right stuff. Wait a minute, I just thought about something. Right, in this block, in this kind of suburban area, okay. You said if everybody freed up their lawn, or used, I mean, what does free up mean? They just they just mow it, and it's just a little dead green. It's not dead, but it's just an empty green space, right?
Yeah, and here in the summer it is green, dead.
Yeah.
No, it's not green.
So anyway, if you would free that up to plant veggies, it's not even the case that every single family has to do that on their own, right? You could also just gather as a community and say who's freeing or who has space for growing veggies, how much, and then you just build garden beds there together.
Yeah.
And then there's probably somebody in the community who knows stuff about plants. Not everybody knows stuff.
Yeah.
How you have to raise them and plant them and transplant them and soil and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. If there's one or two people in the community that know about that stuff, they can spearhead that project.
Yeah.
And they could care about the plants.
And there's some people that maybe there's 3 people in the neighborhood that have plant knowledge, and maybe it's in different areas, and then you can combine those.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's...
like herbs and veggies and whatever the next one is, pollinators.
Yeah, so I mean, one big thing about the Moneyless Man, I feel like it's, to me, the whole idea is not necessarily about completely rejecting money. Mm. It's not really about the money. It's about losing connection. It's about losing creativity and awareness of your environment and your community.
Yeah, becoming aware of how much energy you're funneling into things that are not what you want, and And like the point of that, like it says in the synopsis of the book, and she said the same thing, is to realize, like I said, how much energy you're contributing to things you don't want to contribute.
Yeah, so that's kind of the bottom line for me. What I can learn from that, right? That it's
And right, so the 9-to-5 nuclear family stuff is contributing to something people like us wouldn't want to contribute to, which is no community, depression, no connection.
Yeah, and just working for yourself, unconnected to your environments, disconnected from your environment and other people, and just exchanging money for things where usually you would have connection.
So that's kind of the gist of what I'm saying. You say it more articulately is, I had it and I lost it. Fuck. Well, articulateness comes and goes with me. Fuck, I had the perfect sentence. What did you say?
Something about money replacing connection, or you're using money for something that where you would usually use connection to your environment and community. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it.
Like I guess becoming aware of the disconnect that this lifestyle is causing.
Yeah, I feel like this kind of sentiment usually comes with what you also have, the spark of rebellion against the entire system and against everybody, right? Mm-hmm. But this is what I like about this idea, because it puts one thing in the center of the discussion, which is it's really about you and your local environment.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about the whole spiel. It's not about the whole system and thing. It's not about taxes or whatever. It's about your environment and what you can do to feel connected to it.
This is so dope. I just got chills. Yeah, taking back your power, man. Putting it back into it. Going back to, like I was saying, the age of the individual. We're moving away from masses, right? And so we're seeing, when you fucking start to use your fucking brain and become a free thinker and fucking deprogram from everything fucking everyone's telling you that it has to be, you can see the power that you have. Empower yourself. It's not disempowering yourself. That's what this whole fucking paradigm, old world paradigm is fucking based on disempowerment and fucking fear. Let's fucking take our power back.
Yeah, and this is the thing.
And this is a small scale example, and that's how it builds, and that's how it grows, and that's how you render it obsolete.
Exactly, and this is why this is so interesting.
By small groups turning into bigger groups of people taking their power back and realizing what the individual can do, especially when they come together saying, we're fed up with this. And like I said, I had that day where I was feeling super lonely, super lack of physical world connection with people who think like me. And then there was Earth Day. And I was like, oh shit. I was just being a crybaby.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's...
There is people around here that think like me. Maybe not in the same, maybe we couldn't go super in depth on alien consciousness and stuff like that, conversations with these people, but they do want to build a better community for themselves.
Exactly, because you experience exactly the same problem as a million people out there, because
you think you're alone, but then you get together for a small gathering with your neighbors on Earth Day, and you realize we have done something here.
Yeah, there is community. You just you're in your house, lonely.
Yeah.
That's what it comes back to, right? And this is just what the society kind of comes back to. You go to a job. 40 hours is really enough work for stuff that you probably don't care about too much. Mm-hmm. And then you come home, you gotta eat, you maybe gotta do some paperwork or some other bullshit that you don't care about. You're exhausted. Mm-hmm. And I get it. Then you maybe have an hour to yourself or 2 hours a day to yourself, and then you just kind of, you know, whatever, watch a TV show and go to bed.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, and we're even living in a simple case. We only have a dog. If you have a family, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Because having a full-time job and then caring for a whole family, there's exactly what, 5 minutes a day that you have for yourself when you're on the shitter?
Absolutely, and that's why men lock themselves in the shitter. And I don't fucking blame you one bit. I lock myself in the forest.
Yeah. So this is for me the bottom line of this discussion and the idea.
Or they sit in their car when they get home for an hour because they don't want to go in. But that's only if you have if you don't like your wife or whatever. But still.
Yeah. So the bottom line for me for this discussion is the idea of the moneyless man is not about having no money and rejecting money, not working. It's not about being lazy.
Yeah, definitely not. That's what she said. She's like, I work a lot.
Yeah, definitely. It's about taking your power back in your direct environment, making connection with people around you, and using these connections to improve the community and benefit from each other, benefit from the community.
Yeah.
And that's approachable, right? This is not some idealistic idea that okay, that sounds good, but it will never work. No, this is very doable.
Yeah.
And here we even already notice it, right? With the work parties and with the potlucks. To me, that's the big thing. And that's wonderful, because then you notice that's what life is more about.
Yeah. I thought of this while you were talking. It's taking the VR goggles off and being like, oh, no, I am an individual and I don't have to play that game. I can play my own game.
Yeah.
The VR goggles that the world forced you to put on.
All right, I feel like that's what I can call it. What do you...
No, because I had another thought earlier.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off if you still have something. I feel like my powder's empty. My gunpowder is gone.
Yeah, well, I had another idea.
What was it about?
I don't know, while we were talking. That's my problem. I need a notepad so my ADHD brain can go ahead and continue to let go of the thoughts. And because that's the thing, you can't fucking listen while you're trying to hold on to a thought. I need a notepad. Anyway, what did I think of? Oh, got it. It's just a quickie because I have other videos on this.
Okay.
Again, it's on the same topic of imagine how much energy you would have if some of your other needs were covered. But this goes back to reparenting and rewiring yourself from your programming. Imagine how much more energy you're gonna have when you commit to authenticity all of the time, because you're constantly running a script of who am I gonna be in this moment? How do I have to react? To what version of myself do I have to be? Do I have to be professional version of me? Do I have to be boyfriend, girlfriend version of me? Do I have to be happy-go-lucky neighbor version of me? Whatever. And there's so much energy that goes into that. I noticed it a few weeks ago where it's you realize how many fucking thoughts like that are going through your head in the moment. I noticed it with the dog. How instantly, the second you see a person, how many thoughts start rolling in your head, and no wonder he becomes reactive. The second you fucking see somebody, I start playing the script of how many different things I have to do and be. What do I have to do? What is he gonna do? What do I have to do to make it so he doesn't do it? You know? And I realized, oh my God, how much energy that is compared to when I'm with him and I am in my authentic power. I just know I can handle what's going to happen if he does start reacting to something. And then everything's slower and there's an ease and a flow to it instead of this fucking churning ocean of thoughts all the time. That's how much energy is going into that churning ocean of thoughts all the time. Imagine how much more energy you'll have when you don't have to do that anymore and you can just sit in the comfort and flow and ease that is your authenticity.
Yeah.
Last little thing I wanted to add to this talk we had was on Earth Day, they were saying, especially the one speech that really got me a lot, but they said it multiple times, was make the revolution beautiful. So instead of, and I had this too when I asked ChatGPT about my astrology and my human design and stuff like that, and I asked her to explain it to me. And she said, basically the gist is I'm here for the revolution. And then she said, oh, do you want me to tell you something more, blah, blah. And I said, sure, go for it. Let's start a revolution. And then she said, oh, no, you're not really built for something like that, like fighting the power, fighting against the power. You're built for like a silent, quiet revolution. Behind the scenes, not necessarily going up against what's wrong, but I mean, everybody knows that. Not going up against what's wrong, but rendering it obsolete. So yeah, that was a beautiful thing that this neighborhood said on Earth Day as well, which connects to everything that we've been talking about, is make the revolution beautiful. Doesn't have to be, we're not fighting against the machine, we are rendering it obsolete.
Huh.
Even the crow is coming in to say good job on this little chit chat about how moneyless living can be an indicator of how to move forward to more community and alternate ways of living.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for talking to me.
Thank you for talking to me.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.